Good afternoon. I appreciate everybody. Can you hear me okay? Is that all right? I appreciate everybody showing up. I hope that I can give you some information, not only about Locum Tenens, as you're possibly looking for career opportunities, to consider Locum Tenens and temporary coverage opportunities within your search. Give you a little bit more about me and my company, just so you have some background. I've been in the recruiting industry for about 15 years. And within that time, primarily in Locum Tenens, as Diana said, with Pediatrics. One of the things that we've seen probably over the last 5 to 7 years is the increase in education about Locum Tenens. And with that comes opportunities for Locum Tenens. And a lot of the questions I get is, as a physician, whether I'm coming out of residency or I'm finishing a fellowship or I'm in a transitional period, maybe I've been in practice for a few years, I don't want to have that responsibility, or I've been there, done that kind of thing, is locums right for me? And locums, to put it in a nutshell, it gives you the flexibility. And that's something, if you're looking to do an opportunity or you're looking to work, maybe until you find that permanent opportunity, that permanent job, locums is going to give you maybe not only the flexibility, but the opportunity to see a location. If you have undecided about where you want to end up, if you want to see about a different type of practice opportunity. We work with everything from large hospital systems that are looking for physicians to come into a permanent situation, and they'd like to have physicians that come in and work locums, maybe a locums to permanent opportunity. We also work with small groups, individual practices, solo practitioners. So there's a wide range of opportunities and a wide range of needs that can facilitate what you're looking for as a locums provider. A couple of the things that we hear commonly from individuals that are considering locums. There's not a lot of information out there that you get either through training programs or through others. Maybe you've heard from referrals from other physicians that you've worked with. One of the things that I always stress is that when you look into doing locums, there is a lot of companies out there that are very similar to mine, medical doctor associates. Make sure that you get enough information from them. That's our job. Not only to find you the opportunities and present those to you, but also make sure we answer all your questions. There's things that you need to consider, one of which being that as a company, as I said, our position is to find opportunities for you, but it's also to take care of every aspect of the job for you. We not only want to present the jobs to you, but we want to make sure that you understand we handle travel, housing for the opportunities, your malpractice insurance, which is key. A lot of physicians that I know that I talk with aren't familiar with the different types of malpractice insurance. So it's very important that you understand that, because when you work as an independent contractor, you're not an employee of a medical doctor associates or another staffing firm. And as an independent contractor, the malpractice coverage that that company offers you is going to be key to protect you down the road. There's two different types of malpractice coverage. One is which is occurrence policy, which is what we offer. That's a policy that covers your tail coverage. Essentially, a true occurrence policy will cover your tail for life. The policy that we offer is occurrence policy. So when you work with a company, you get contract through a medical doctor associates or another firm, you want to make sure that that's not only going to cover you through the end of the year, but it's going to cover you in case a claim or something else happens down the road. Most facilities and most firms like ours are going to be able to explain that to you and give you that information. The other thing you consider is when you look at opportunities, some of the hurdles that you come up against are going to be licensure. That's our biggest hurdle, because as a locums, that flexibility not only for you, we're going to look for that from you as a candidate. If you're willing to travel, if you're willing to experience different types of opportunities, whether it's outpatient, whether it's hospitalist, or whether it's a combination, you got to make sure that in order to make enough opportunities in front of you that a company like ours can give you, that you've got the flexibility to be able to do that. Locums is not for everybody. It doesn't. It's not going to give you that opportunity probably to go directly into a permanent position. However, as I mentioned, there's a lot of opportunities that they use locums. A lot of facilities that will use a locums provider in hopes maybe that's a long-term interview. That's a chance for you to go and work, really get a feel for the facility, the location, and the people you work with. So a lot of times in interviews, when you go out and you meet with hospitals and the recruiters of hospitals, it's a short window, and it's not a true glimpse of what you really want to be at that facility. So when we work with hospitals like that, we talk to them about their immediate needs and their long-term needs. So if you come in as a locums, maybe it's for a month, maybe it's for a week, it gives you that opportunity to see, hey, if this is somewhere I'd like to stay, develop that relationship and go from there. The other question I commonly get is, well, do I have to obligate myself? Do I have to be there for a long period of time? Locums is, again, that flexibility is going to give you every opportunity. What we have, we've got everything that we work with, as I said, small practices that will need weekend call coverage. You may be helping out a solo practitioner that's just needs a break and doesn't realize that that type of individual, the physician that you are out there to help out. So we've got everything that you can come in and work outpatient only in a clinic for somebody that maybe needs a break or needs to take time off to help a sick relative or they're sick themselves. Also, longer-term opportunities. We work with not only what I consider commercial clients, we work with a lot of Indian health facilities, military facilities, and those are generally longer-term needs. And you could go and I've got physicians that work they say they're going to work for 6 months and they end up staying 2 years plus because it's a great opportunity and because the need is definitely there. Again, the key is flexibility. If you're interested in having the opportunity to look at different options, locums is a real good opportunity for you. A couple of things that we run into with physicians not understanding or knowing about locums. A lot of the key questions. I've got here a FAQ sheet that you can grab that we get a lot of those questions. Is essentially, well, what's my responsibility? As a firm, what we want to make sure we do is that you don't have to worry about anything. And most firms out there like ours are going to be virtually the same thing. That the travel, the housing, everything is taken care of for you as a firm. We pre-negotiate contracts with clients, with hospitals and with practices, and then we contract with you as an independent contractor. As I mentioned, you're not an employee, so the idea is that we can take care of everything for you. You can go to the facility, go to the site, and practice medicine. You don't have to worry about all the other avenues and things that we have to deal with. As I mentioned, the licensure is generally the biggest hurdle that we face and that you'll face in locums. There may be an opportunity in California that you're interested in that we represent. And there's certain states that do offer a quick license, that offer maybe even a locums or temporary license. But sometimes we'll look at an opportunity, if it's long term, we might consider working with you to take care of that license. And that's going to be key because the more licenses you have, the more flexibility you have, the more options you're going to have as well. Additionally, talking about the types of opportunities, a lot of what we see and a lot of what we get requests for are, as I mentioned, temporary opportunities or temporary to permanent. If a hospital is in the process of maybe trying to ramp up a hospitalist program, they might not have the staff yet. So a lot of opportunities that we cover are going to be basically to cover the rotation. We may have a 1 to 4 rotation within a facility and they still haven't hired that permanent individual. So we'll go in and basically contract with them to help out with that call rotation to keep it stable. And so you can work not only in one facility, say in Texas, in that hospital rotation, but also in another hospital at the same time. That's what, again, it gives you the options to make those decisions. From a hiring standpoint, what we've seen more often than not is facilities are, as I mentioned, becoming more educated about locums. A long time ago, it used to be that hospitals weren't really interested in that, not just due to the cost, but they didn't realize that it was a long-term solution. Having somebody come in that long-term interview does give you both the opportunity to feel each other out, to make sure it's a comfortable fit. So now, as the industry grows and as locums becomes more mainstream, those facilities are actually looking not only for physicians to fill in until they hire a permanent physician, especially in pediatrics right now, in kind of the cold and flu season or the busy time of year, there's a lot of overage and there's a lot of the increased patient census. So we've got hospitals that we contract with just primarily November through March. So you could basically go and work at a hospitalist position or even an outpatient style position for just a couple of months and then know, hey, next year that's an opportunity for me as well. The other thing to really consider as you look at doing locums, amongst the licensure and the malpractice, from a physician standpoint, you want to make sure that you know exactly what you want to do. A lot of times, as a recruiter, we will have opportunities, and they change in locums daily, but we'll have opportunities for you that may not fit exactly what you're wanting to do. As that independent contractor, that gives you the power, the flexibility to pick what you want. Just be sure that you're open to other opportunities, other ideas, because it may not fit a specific geographical area, but it may be something that you can do in the interim until you find something more closer to an area that you're looking for. But make sure that you explain to a recruiter that you talk with, myself or somebody else, that this is what I'm looking to do. I want to be in an outpatient-only opportunity. I really want to look at hospitals. I really want to look at something that's going to give me the chance to move into more of a permanent solution. If that's really what you want, that's what our job is, to go out and find those type of opportunities. Keep in mind, we can't control that. There may be something, as I mentioned, that comes up that may not fit exactly what you're looking for, but it's something to consider, because as you work as a locums, you're not obligated to work more than the time frame that you've agreed to. So while you're doing locums or while you're working in an assignment, you can also interview with other permanent opportunities, and we're going to continue to talk to you about different facilities and needs down the road. The only thing that I would have to say to be able to understand about what locums is really to know that when you go into a facility, whether it's a hospital or practice, it's important, as you are a visiting physician, or you're somebody that's new to them. We try to educate our facilities and our hospitals about welcoming new individuals, but it's also, you're there as a visitor, as somebody that is trying to learn their practice. But it's also important when you're there to show them some aspects that you know and that you brought with you from your professional career. So there's a lot of new experiences that you can face. There's a lot of new areas that you can travel to. But there's also a lot of responsibility that we want to make sure that you as a physician know going in, and what we do our best is to educate you on that.